Hello my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com, and today I'm going to show you my favorite hack for how to paint French doors. Now this is going to be an especially good tip for you if you have a new build and you're redoing like 16 French doors or something. You are gonna wanna die with all those little window panes. I'm gonna show you my favorite product for quickly masking those off, and I'm gonna give you a peek into the new look that we're going for in my current living room. So I really love the navy on my front door. It's called Artissimo. It's by Miss Mustard Seed, and it's a milk paint. So you have to, it's a powder form and you mix it. I don't want it to flake too much, so I'm gonna add in a second product, which is a bonding agent, so that it can be distressed, but it won't distress without me using sandpaper on it. I am wanting to do a lot more navy blue in this room. Here's my design board, my inspiration for the direction I'm going. And so it was just a no-brainer that I would paint the other door in the room the same color. Now this door leads into what we called our toy closet for many years. My kids are older, so they don't have toys, but I still use it to have cleaning supplies, and I have a lot of my non-seasonal decorations are kept in this space as well. So it's still a good piece in our house, and it's still a unique little spot that I want to stay cute. So I am going to paint the door this Artissimo navy blue and then distress it just a little bit. I got the French door off of Craigslist and paid, I don't know, I like to pay like $100 for a vintage door. So I was really excited. It actually matches our floors really well, which doesn't matter now because I'm gonna change it. But we had to like carve out the edge so that the hinges would fit in there, and we worked really hard, made a little template and everything, and hung it, and then realized, oh my gosh, the thing is upside down. So I decided I don't care. It's not worth the amount of effort to cut out carve out new sides, a new side for hinges and things. It is what it is, and every house has its little quirks that kind of make it your own. So that's one thing in my house, is the French door is upside down on the closet down here. The last thing I wanna do to make this door look cute is add a vintage knob. I like to find vintage knobs on eBay or Etsy, and I like to pay about $30 a piece. You will die. There are so many different kinds, different colors, different types of glass. It's so fun to look at doorknobs. They truly are the jewelry of a vintage home. So I actually got these for $5 at a garage sale, and I just got the glass, and honestly, they're not like super special. The price was special, but they're just standard glass ones. And then I found these little plates. You can get these separately. The back plates were on eBay, I believe. I got these on eBay. So I do need to go buy some screws. I would like this to be a little bit more gold, so I'm just gonna dust it with my favorite gold spray paint. I like Design Master 24 karat pure gold. I get this at Michael's or Joann's. So this is my favorite product that I want to talk to you about. It is called Masking Liquid H2O. It's a paintable product. It looks kind of like cream or something. It's like white, kind of like actually runny Elmer's glue, which is probably like what it is. But anyway, you paint it on the glass panes of a French door, and I put it a little bit onto the wood even because it is paintable, and I'm gonna at the end take a razor blade and cut out each of the rectangles and peel it off, which is very satisfying. And so I want to paint the full pane so that it all comes off on one sheet. You don't want to just do a frame around it. You want a full rectangle shape, and then I want a little bit of it onto the actual wood because I'm gonna go ahead and get paint on it. And then the razor blade is what's gonna get the perfect line that I want. So before I started, I went ahead and cleaned the glass. The person before me had put some type of a glaze on the wood and was kind of sloppy, and I had never really noticed it until I of course got into the project, which is how projects go, right? So I took a razor blade and I spent like 2.5 hours scraping off all of the last guy's glaze that he got just kind of messed up on all the panes. And it just made me think, you know what, anything I can do to shorten this project is gonna be good. And so I already was planning for this, and I'm really glad I was. There are a couple of things that I want to point out on the directions. So once your wood surface is cleaned, your glass is clean, then it says you can spray this, brush it, or roll it. I'm gonna brush it with my 1.5 inch angle sash brush, which is my favorite. I mixed it with a stir stick. You wanna do that before you start. And it says to apply a coat 2 to 4 mils thick. I don't know what that is. I don't know when I've achieved it, but I just went on pretty thick, like as thick as I could without making it 2 coats. So that's how I would describe that. It says it will dry in 30 minutes. I went ahead and went to bed and I let it dry overnight, so I don't know how long it took. But I think 30 minutes is a little bit optimistic. Maybe I did mine too thick, I don't know. But I'll show you in the end how the thicker the better. Although you don't need to do 2 coats, I think 1 is fine. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It goes on, like I said, like Elmer's glue, it goes on white. Then when it dries, it has just a real like glazed clear look. And that brings us to the milk paint step. I might want a cup of paint, and I'm probably gonna do 2 coats. I'm gonna start with a cup of paint. And mind you, I'm gonna use powder water, because that's the milk paint, and I'm gonna use a bonding agent. So I need to factor in that extra volume of liquid. I use an old plastic set of measuring spoons that I just keep with my milk paint. So I'm just gonna start with, let's say, 6 tablespoons of water. I never measure this part. I try to make it a 1-to-1 ratio. So it looks like I have, I don't know, looks like maybe I have like a 1/2 cup of milk paint in here. So I'm gonna put half the bottle in here. Okay, and then I stir this really well for a couple minutes. And then you let it sit for 10 minutes. And then we can paint. All right, so once the paint is mixed, then you can go ahead and paint your door. And I went ahead and painted right onto the glass because it's protected with that liquid mask. It takes 30 minutes or maybe an hour to dry, and then I added a 2nd coat. Every once in a while, I'll add a 3rd coat when I'm using milk paint. Depends on how thick I've actually mixed the paint, but this one took 2 coats. Let that one dry, and then I come back with my go-to sandpaper, which is a 220 grit paper, 220 grit. And I just scuffed up. I really just went around the parts that's sticking up. So these little corners here got hit. I roughed up the flat areas. What I love about milk paint is it's made with pigments. So when you do this step, it becomes just a tiny bit like iridescent, because you get to see the green and the yellow teeny bit. And so I love the sanding process in the milk paint world. Okay, and then the last thing I had to do was come back over it with some Annie Sloan dark wax. Now, if you are using dark wax on, say, something that's cream or white, it's too harsh and it makes streaks and just makes it look dirty. So this is a little like freebie I'm throwing in. You wanna wax it with a clear coat first, and then it kind of conditions it, and then you come back over it with the dark wax to give it the aging look that you're going for. But this, I didn't need to do a clear coat, so I just did the dark wax, and I used my SIFF, S-I-F-F brush, which is fantastic. Just fits in your hand really comfortably, and I love that brand. It's expensive, but they say it's the best in the world. It's the best one I've ever used, and I like that the bristles don't fall out when I'm using it. Just everything goes fast, and you buff it. I work in circles, and I buff it into the wood. It kind of conditions it, and then I come back over it. If I feel like I've maybe overdone it, which I regularly do, then I will come back with a t-shirt and just wipe off the excess. Then, I mean, you can wait. They say it takes like 30 full days for wax to cure, and I don't wait that long. I waited, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. And then I came back with this brush. Looks like something you would polish your shoes with. And I just buffed the wax with this. And then it looks really nice. So the dark wax really brings in that aged patina that makes it look like an antique door. I love it. So don't skip that step. And then the last part, for my cute doorknob, I shot the plates with my favorite gold, my favorite spray paint. We had to drill a hole through the door. And as you can see, this is truly just a swinging door. There is no mechanism inside the wood that latches it. If you do need to get that, you can get that piece on eBay too. You just want to search for a lock set, and then that will give you the piece that fits in the door, and it can actually have a lock and a key and all that, but I didn't have any of that. I just had the doorknob, paid $5 at a garage sale for, and then I bought the plates. I don't know, I paid 10 bucks or something for those. And then it was just a matter of screwing the plates into place, putting the doorknob through, screwing those on. And if I had probably any other color besides black color of door, I would have taken a Sharpie and blacked out the little keyhole. I did that on my bathroom doors just to make it look like it's a hole in there. So that's a little extra touch you can add to make it look a little more authentic. So then came the fun part where I took a razor blade and I actually outlined each of the panes of glass and peeled off my liquid mask. And it really should come off in one sheet. I realized I could have done it a little thicker. It felt like I was pulling saran wrap off. That's the weight of it. And honestly, it worked. But I did have a little cleanup in the corners that I had to do with the razor blade. And then I had to wash everything again to get it really sparkling clean. And if I do it again, which I'm sure I will, I think I'll do a second coat and get it really thick and be real generous just slopping it onto the wood, because the hardest part is actually where the glass meets the wood. There's a crack there, there's air. And I wish I would have just crammed that full of the masking liquid and just left it in place, and I mean, no one would ever know. But the cleanup is so much easier for the worker. So you would just cut out the perfect rectangle, peel it out, everything looks sealed and finished. I would have used the product more to my advantage. So that's it. That was a fairly straightforward project, and if I had a whole house or like a ton of these old windows that I had to deal with, this would be a godsend. So I hope you like this product. I hope you like this new technique. And I haven't been doing a ton of DIYs this year. So let me know in the comments if you like seeing the DIYs or would rather have interior design lessons, and I can try to accommodate you. I also have an ebook out about painting all things vintage in the home, and how to paint a room really fast, and my favorite products and cleanup techniques and all that I will put in the link below. And there's a 20% off coupon too that you can have. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so that I can send you more videos on how to make interior design easy. All right, take care. I will talk to you soon.